You remember when you had those masculine traits inside of you and they were punished? The natural masculine part of you has literally been stomped out by school, the feminine narrative. Now we have like this epidemic, this huge problem of young men who aren't men, and we feel like shit because of that. We feel like shit because of that. Because think of the consequences of this. You're raised in this like feminine way. You're raised in this way where you have to apologize for being a boy. You hit your teenage years and then you're again raised in a way where you have to apologize for being male, for being pumped full of testosterone through puberty. You're told all of these lessons like, don't look at girls, don't do this. You're just confused. And I think you can remember those times as a teenager, as a young boy, that you were confused because you had this innate, natural, normal part of you that was being punished, and you were told, okay, do this thing that feels unnatural. You grow up to be a young man who feels so utterly directionless, demasculated, way too feminine. And I think worst of all, you listened to their advice. You did exactly what they told you to do, so you ended up being feminine. You listened to everything that they said, and now your life stinks because of it. Now you're not happy. Now you're looking at those guys who didn't fail this shit test. You're looking at the guys who passed this test. So imagine from the moment you're born, you're tested. Your masculinity is tested. And the majority of us failed that test. But there was those special few boys, probably like naturally high testosterone or something to do with like mindset, whatever, how their fathers raised them. They didn't fail that test. Those boys were told to sit still and they laughed at the teacher. They were told not to swear and then they swore at the teacher. They stayed masculine even amongst the tests of the feminine narrative of school, of the female teachers that we all went through. And then guys like us kind of look towards those like natural men, those like natural chads. And we're jealous. We wish we lived a life like that, but we failed that test. And so now there is a new movement, which I'm very excited to see, which is ours. And it's about young men reclaiming their masculinity, unapologetically reclaiming our masculinity. When you take a step into becoming more of a man, into becoming more masculine, you truly, like if you've made progress in this, you truly know like it feels right. It feels like your chakras, I don't know what the fuck that means, but your chakras are being aligned. It feels like you're now living life how you should. That's very interesting, isn't it? Because one time I journaled and I really asked myself this question. I asked, is trying to become more masculine authentic? There's a phrase which says like, you can't do this if you can do that. So is it authentic to want to become more masculine? Because by wanting to become something that shows that you are not it naturally. But then we also have this argument that we would be more masculine if we weren't conditioned not to be. So perhaps it is actually more natural and more authentic for us to actually try to be something that we're not currently. Does that make sense? So us trying to be more masculine is actually authentic because we would be more masculine naturally if we didn't go through these processes that have like belittled the masculine energy inside of us.